Hello, classmates and Dr. Grant. I created a logic model for the Shine the Light on Intimate Partner Violence campaign. This campaign does not exist. Rather, it is a vision of an event I hope to implement either spring 2020 or fall of 2020 for part of my dissertation. Briefly, the goals of the Shine the Light campaign are to identify and collaborate with community agencies working to end domestic violence, to raise awareness of intimate partner violence, to educate college students, staff, and faculty about intimate partner violence, to educate college students, staff, and faculty about healthy relationships, to start the conversation about the role of destructive attitudes in the perpetration and tolerance of abusive behavior, such as sexism, patriarchy, rigid gender roles, and entitlement attitudes, and to provide resources for those who are in abusive relationships or who know of someone in an abusive relationship. Unfortunately, because the program is only in the conception stage, I was unable to complete a summative or monitoring evaluation. Instead, I completed a formative evaluation. This type of evaluation is an appropriate method for public health programs before a program begins. Sometimes it is used as a needs assessment. Other times it is used as I have used it to determine the resources available to undertake such a large project. I completed a formative evaluation for the Shine the Light on Intimate Partner Violence to answer the question, to identify and collaborate with community agencies working to end domestic violence. So the question that I was answering is this one. Who are the possible informants, volunteer sources, and community agencies that could be invited to become part of a cross-organizational work group to plan, develop, and implement the Shine the Light on Intimate Partner Violence? To answer the question, I explored the possibilities. First, I had a phone interview with Stephanie Powell, the Deputy Title IX Coordinator for Students at Southeastern University. From her, I was able to learn that my proposed project was very much in line with the requirements of the Clery Act and Violence Against Women Act for universities to provide preventive educational programs to address the issue of intimate partner violence. Ms. Powell provided the names of other possible collaborators. I also completed a search of the university's website to identify other possible resources and then the World Wide Web for local domestic violence agencies. The result of this data search is illustrated on this infographic. 5 categories of possible human resources were identified. So there were 5 possible human resources for Shine the Light. The first source of informants is the Title IX office. From here, information for Title IX compliance will be gathered. Training, education, and communication will be done here. And I'll also receive connections to other university departments and agencies. The second source are faculty and staff. I was able to get the name of the Dean of Behavioral and Social Sciences, and I learned that the social work students have a senior project that they do every spring. The students could be an invaluable source for workers and volunteers and planners. There's also the campus pastor, SEU marketing office, and the assistant provost that I can get information from. The third source of humans and volunteers and key informants are the student groups. I have the name for the Executive Director for Student Development, the student groups, student experience, and first-year experience coordinators' names. I've found 10 possible student organizations that have service in their title. These will be sources of volunteers and possible avenues to reach students and activities they are engaged in already, such as discipleship groups and their residence life. There's also the campus mental health. This will be a resource person for domestic violence educational material, possible speaker and presenter, and will have to be needed for interventions in case people are triggered. Finally, we have the community agencies within the local area. There's Heather's Hope. Very experienced in hosting awareness events, and they have experts that can serve as speakers. There's the Peace River Domestic Violence Services, also expert advice in giving materials. Florida Coalition Against Domestic Violence, also a good source for speakers and to achieve or obtain education materials. The evaluation was profitable because several key informants, experts, university resources, community resources, and potential pools of volunteers have been identified. The evaluation also identified 2 areas of needs. More men need to be identified for the work team because intimate partner violence isn't just a women's issue. And also, more representatives from the faith community need to be considered, invited, and encouraged to participate. Future evaluations will be needed as the program is developed. Formative evaluations can use focus groups to provide robust data to inform program designers regarding promotional and educational materials. Monitoring evaluations will be instrumental to keep track of the number of activities which are done and the number and types of students who participate and who are reached through the programs. Finally, summative evaluations will provide data to show the impact on knowledge and attitude changes and the efficacy of the program as it pertains to an understanding of intimate partner violence. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. That's Romans 8:37. There is hope for a future where violence is not perpetrated in the relationships that should be our most loving and caring and honoring and respectful relationships that we have. Therefore, we have a sure hope. Everyone born of God overcomes the world, because the one who is in us is greater than the one who is in the world. Thank you for listening, and God bless.